close your eyes and let the soft rustle of bamboo leaves carry you into the quiet night. Moonlight spills across the ancient stone path, illuminating a serene garden where koi swim lazily in gentle ponds. The air is fragrant with the subtle scent of cherry blossoms, their petals whispering secrets of long-forgotten times. A lone samurai walks slowly, his footsteps almost silent on the moss-covered stones. His armor glimmers faintly in the silver light, but it is his presence, calm and measured, that seems to command the night itself. Lanterns flicker along the path, casting dancing shadows that stretch like the memories of centuries past. In the distance, the faint sounds of a flowing stream mingle with the whispers of the wind. Every rustle of a leaf, every ripple in the water, becomes part of a gentle symphony, guiding the samurai deeper into the garden's heart. The world beyond the walls disappears. Only the hush of the night and the soft light of the moon remain. Here, in this quiet sanctuary, he recalls tales of ancient warriors, the honor and discipline that have shaped generations. Each breath he takes is measured, each movement purposeful, as though the very act of walking is a meditation, a connection to the spirits of the land and the centuries of tradition beneath his feet. Shadows stretch and bend, forming delicate shapes among the trees. The silhouette of a fox pausing in the underbrush, the wings of a night bird gliding silently across the pond, the gentle sway of a weeping cherry branch brushing the stone. All is tranquil, yet every sight is imbued with a subtle pulse of magic, a whisper that the night itself is alive and watching. The samurai pauses at a small torii gate, the crimson paint softened by time. He places a hand lightly on the wood, feeling the warmth of countless hands that came before him. A sense of serenity floods his spirit, and yet a hint of anticipation lingers, as though the night has more secrets to reveal, more lessons to offer, and more wonders hidden in the folds of shadow and light. With a steady breath, he steps beyond the gate, continuing his midnight walk, and you follow, drifting with him, feeling the world slow, your mind quiet, and your body relax. The journey has only just begun, and the night stretches endlessly, inviting you into its calm embrace. The samurai's footsteps continued softly across the mossy stones, each echo blending with the gentle hum of the night. The bamboo groves towered around him, their slender stalks swaying as though conversing in a language only the wind could translate. The moonlight filtered through the leaves, casting a lattice of silver and shadow onto the ground, a delicate mosaic that shifted with each breath of air. He paused beside a small pond, its surface still and reflective. The water mirrored the stars, tiny points of light twinkling alongside the lanterns lining the path. Koi fish glided beneath the ripples, their scales glimmering in the faint illumination. The samurai knelt and let his fingers brush the water's surface, creating small waves that carried the moonlight with them. Each ripple seemed to whisper a story, fragments of the past entwined with the quiet rhythm of the night. A fox appeared on the far edge of the grove, its eyes gleaming like polished amber. It regarded the samurai with a calm intelligence, unafraid, as though recognizing a kindred spirit who had walked these gardens countless times before. The fox padded silently along the perimeter before disappearing into the dense underbrush, leaving behind only the faintest scent of the earth and leaves. Above, the branches of cherry trees bowed under the weight of their own blossoms. Petals drifted down like delicate snow, brushing against the samurai's shoulders and hands, dissolving into the night as soon as they touched him. Every movement, every sound was amplified in the stillness. The distant trill of a night bird, the soft rustle of bamboo, the gentle gurgle of the stream winding through the grove. He remembered the teachings of his ancestors: discipline, patience, and harmony. Yet here, in the embrace of the midnight garden, he felt a softness within himself, a quiet curiosity and wonder that allowed him to experience the world not just as a warrior, but as a soul attuned to the magic hidden in simple, fleeting moments. Continuing along the path, the samurai noticed a small torii partially hidden behind a veil of mist. Its paint was faded, yet it seemed alive, glowing faintly with an inner light. He knew that every structure in this garden held memories, echoes of prayers, wishes, and the hopes of generations. As he passed beneath the gate, he felt a subtle warmth spread through him, a connection to all who had walked these paths before. The night seemed to stretch infinitely, the shadows lengthening and contracting with the rhythm of his steps. Every lantern, every ripple, every petal became part of a living tapestry, woven together by time, moonlight, and the calm presence of the samurai. You walk beside him now, following silently, your mind slowing, your thoughts quieting, your body relaxing with every step. The garden beckons deeper, promising whispers of ancient wisdom and gentle revelations hidden among the bamboo and blossoms. And so, the midnight walk continues, soft, serene, and timeless, carrying you further into the dreamlike heart of this mystical Japanese night. The samurai walked on, the stone path curling gently through the grove as mist began to rise from the earth, curling like delicate smoke around the trunks of ancient trees. Lanterns appeared ahead, their soft golden light flickering as if breathing in sync with the rhythm of the night. The glow painted the mist with warm hues, creating an ethereal, otherworldly corridor that seemed to stretch endlessly into the shadows. Each step brought a new sound: the faint crunch of gravel beneath his sandals, the rustle of unseen creatures moving quietly among the leaves, and the distant call of a night bird echoing through the mist. The samurai's hand rested lightly on the hilt of his sword, not in preparation for battle, but as a comforting weight, a connection to discipline and protection as he moved deeper into the serene night. Delicate petals from cherry blossoms floated through the air, catching the lantern light and drifting like tiny golden sparks. Some brushed his armor and fell to the path, dissolving into the stones as though carried away by the spirits of the garden. The air was thick with the faint fragrance of blossoms and wet earth, calming yet invigorating, urging him onward without a single word spoken. As he turned a bend, he encountered a small stone bridge arching over a tranquil stream. The water flowed silently beneath, reflecting both the lanterns above and the scattered moonlight. He paused, taking in the harmony of the scene. In the stillness, it felt as though the world itself had held its breath, allowing him to step into a moment untouched by time. A pair of cranes appeared on the far bank, moving with deliberate grace, their long necks swaying as if they, too, were part of the silent symphony of the night. The samurai watched quietly, feeling the connection between himself, the creatures, and the gentle magic of the landscape. Each element, light, shadow, sound, and movement, seemed orchestrated to soothe the mind and open the heart to wonder. He crossed the bridge slowly, the mist curling around his legs like soft silk. The path ahead narrowed into a grove where the trees leaned close, their branches forming a natural canopy. Within this shelter, lanterns swayed gently, casting dancing shadows that resembled figures frozen in quiet conversation. The samurai breathed deeply, absorbing the serenity, allowing the peace to settle into his bones. And in this moment, you walk beside him, letting the lanterns guide your thoughts, letting the soft sounds of the garden quiet your mind, and letting the gentle rhythm of his steps lull you toward the stillness of the night. The midnight walk continues, deeper into mystery and calm, where every turn offers a whisper of enchantment and every shadow holds the promise of gentle dreams. The samurai continued along the mist-wrapped path, the soft glow of lanterns guiding each careful step. Around him, the garden shifted subtly, as if breathing, alive with memories of centuries past. Ancient stones, worn smooth by countless footsteps, lined the edges of the path. Their surfaces seemed to hum softly, resonating with stories of warriors and monks who had once walked these same grounds. Above, the moon drifted behind a thin veil of clouds, casting a silver sheen over the tops of the bamboo. The mist curled higher now, drifting lazily between the trunks, occasionally catching the lantern light and scattering it into faint, sparkling fragments. The samurai paused to touch one of the larger stones, feeling the coolness of its surface and imagining the hands that had carved and set it, the prayers whispered beside it, the silent meditations of those long gone. A small shrine appeared nestled among the bamboo, delicate and unassuming, yet glowing with an aura of reverence. He stepped forward and bowed respectfully, his presence both acknowledging the spirits of the place and blending seamlessly into its tranquility. The incense smoldering at the shrine released gentle tendrils of fragrance that mingled with the cherry blossom scent, enveloping him in a cocoon of calm. From the shadows of the grove, a gentle wind stirred, rustling leaves and petals, carrying faint whispers. They were not voices of the living, but echoes of the past, soft hints of conversation, laughter, and solemn vows. The samurai listened, letting the whispers weave through his thoughts, his steps becoming slower, more deliberate, as he absorbed the timeless lessons hidden in the air around him. The path narrowed, leading to a small wooden bridge over a clear, winding stream. The water moved lazily, reflecting both moonlight and lantern glow. The samurai knelt briefly, dipping his fingers into the cool flow. The sensation was grounding, a gentle reminder of the life that persisted quietly, resiliently, through centuries of night and day. As he rose and crossed the bridge, he noticed shadows shifting among the trees, not threatening, but alive with subtle movement, as though the forest itself was observing, guiding, and protecting him. The samurai's breath synchronized with the rhythm of the night, steady, calm, meditative. Every step forward carried a sense of purpose, yet also of surrender to the peace of this mystical place. The lanterns ahead swayed more noticeably now, forming a tunnel of soft light. Through this gentle corridor, the samurai felt a profound connection to the land, to history, and to the serenity of the night itself. And you, walking beside him, feel your mind slowing, your body relaxing, every sound and every shadow carrying you deeper into this dreamlike journey, until the midnight walk continues to fold you into its gentle embrace. The samurai's path led him deeper into the heart of the bamboo grove, where the lantern's soft glow mingled with the silver sheen of the moonlight. Each step seemed to echo not only in the night but also in the quiet corners of his own mind, as though the garden itself was a mirror, reflecting the rhythm of his heartbeat and the serenity of his spirit. The air had grown cooler now, carrying the faint fragrance of wet moss and cherry blossoms, a delicate perfume that wrapped around him like a gentle shawl. Ahead, he noticed a small tea house, tucked unobtrusively among the trees. Its wooden beams were dark with age, yet polished by the passage of countless hands. Smoke rose lazily from its chimney, curling into the night air in thin, sinuous streams that shimmered faintly in the moonlight. The sliding paper doors were partially open, revealing a warm, inviting glow inside. Though he did not know who had prepared it, the tea house seemed to be waiting, a quiet sanctuary offering rest to travelers of both body and spirit. The samurai stepped onto the worn stone path that led to the entrance, each stone smooth beneath his sandals, warmed slightly by the memories of countless footsteps. Outside, the bamboo whispered gently in the night breeze, their leaves brushing against one another to create a subtle, harmonious symphony that accompanied his every movement. A small pond beside the tea house reflected the lanterns, the moon, and the delicate blossoms that had begun to drift down from the trees above, petals landing on the water's surface like tiny floating stars. As he approached, he inhaled deeply, letting the scents of tea, wood, and blossoms mingle in his lungs. They brought a calm clarity, as if the very essence of the garden was settling into him, slowing the frantic thoughts that sometimes stirred even the most disciplined mind. The samurai opened the sliding door fully and stepped inside, feeling the warmth of the air wrap around him like a gentle embrace. The interior was simple, yet elegant. Low wooden tables, woven tatami mats, and delicate ceramic cups arranged with care. The soft glow of a single lantern filled the room, highlighting every detail with a serene golden hue. He knelt gracefully on the tatami mat, bowing lightly to acknowledge the spirits of the space. Though no one was present, he felt their presence. The echo of laughter, the whisper of conversation, the faintest vibration of countless evenings spent here by those who had walked this path before him. Outside, the bamboo swayed, the petals drifted, and the night seemed to pause in quiet reverence, as if honoring the sacred simplicity of this moment. The samurai poured himself a cup of tea, the steam curling up slowly, carrying with it the subtle scent of jasmine and roasted leaves. He brought the cup to his lips and inhaled, letting the warmth settle into him. With each sip, he felt the weight of the world lighten, the tension in his muscles dissolve, and a profound stillness settle into his mind. Time seemed to stretch and bend, allowing him to remain entirely present, entirely immersed in the tranquility of the night. He closed his eyes briefly, listening to the gentle sounds, the soft plink of water from a nearby stream, the whisper of leaves brushing together, the distant call of a night bird hidden in the bamboo. Each sound was amplified, magnified by the stillness, until it became a lullaby for the soul. And as he breathed slowly, deliberately, the samurai felt a quiet connection to all that surrounded him. The earth beneath his knees, the trees arching overhead, the moonlight filtering through the mist, and the soft, enduring rhythm of the night itself. Rising from the tea house, he continued along the stone path, stepping lightly into the embrace of the bamboo grove once more. The mist curled higher, the lanterns flickered in gentle waves, and the moonlight danced on the petals floating in the air. The garden seemed endless, every turn revealing another secret, another quiet marvel, guiding him, and you walking silently beside him, deeper into this peaceful, dreamlike night. The midnight walk continues, each step a meditation, each breath a whisper of serenity, as the world slows and the night unfolds like a gentle, unfolding story meant to lull the soul into calm and restful dreams. The samurai stepped back onto the winding stone path, the air thick with the mingled scents of wet earth, moss, and cherry blossoms. Each stone beneath his sandals seemed to hold the memory of countless footsteps, worn smooth and cool, grounding him as he moved deeper into the night. The mist swirled lazily around his legs, curling like ethereal ribbons in the gentle breeze, carrying with it the faint whisper of the bamboo leaves above. Lanterns flickered intermittently along the path, casting pools of warm golden light that danced across the mist and the smooth stones. Between the shadows, delicate shapes emerged. A fox paused to watch him from behind a tree, its eyes glinting softly. A night bird flitted silently through the branches, its wings creating barely perceptible ripples in the still air. Every movement in the garden seemed intentional, as if the forest itself were guiding him, revealing its secrets in slow, deliberate whispers. He passed by a small, circular pond where the water reflected the full moon like a silver mirror. The surface was so calm that the reflection of the sky appeared almost more real than the world itself. A single lotus floated gently, its petals shimmering faintly under the moonlight. The samurai knelt briefly, placing a hand over the water. The coolness seeped into his palm, connecting him to the tranquil rhythm of the pond, and he felt the quiet pulse of the garden flowing through him. Above, the cherry trees arched gracefully over the path, their branches heavy with blossoms. Petals drifted down softly, catching the lantern light and settling on the moss, stones, and the samurai's shoulders. Each petal seemed to carry a story from a century-long past. Echoes of festivals, quiet conversations, and the soft footsteps of those who had walked here before. The samurai inhaled slowly, letting the mingled scent of blossoms and wet moss fill his senses, and for a moment, time seemed suspended. A gentle breeze carried the faint sound of distant water, a stream hidden behind the dense bamboo. The sound grew closer as he continued, mixing with the subtle rustling of leaves and the soft nocturnal chorus of insects. The path narrowed here, flanked by towering bamboo on either side, forming a natural corridor of light and shadow. Each step felt heavier with intention, each breath more deliberate, as if the garden itself demanded full attention, a mindfulness that washed away any lingering tension from the day. The samurai paused at a small stone archway, engraved with faint, ancient glyphs, their meanings long whispered into the wind. He rested a hand lightly against it, feeling the textured stone beneath his fingers, and closed his eyes for a moment. The garden was alive around him. The soft hum of night, the gentle sway of bamboo, the shimmering lanterns, all woven together into a single harmonious melody that resonated through his body and spirit. Continuing past the archway, he entered a grove where the mist thickened, diffusing the lantern light into a soft, dreamlike glow. Shapes shifted in the haze. A fox darted silently across the path, petals drifted like snowflakes, and shadows formed gentle, ever-changing patterns on the mossy ground. The samurai walked slowly, savoring each sensation, each sound, and each flicker of light. And you, walking silently beside him, feel your body and mind begin to relax, each step carrying you further into the quiet embrace of the night, deeper into the mystical journey of the midnight garden. The path stretches on endlessly, the bamboo towering above, the lanterns flickering like sentinels guiding your way, and the moonlight painting everything in silver and gold. The night continues to breathe around you, gentle, patient, and eternal, inviting every wandering thought to dissolve into serenity. With each step, the samurai and you move deeper into this dreamlike world, where the whispers of the garden lull you into a calm, restful state, and the magic of the night enfolds you completely. The samurai's journey carried him deeper into the grove, where the mist thickened and the bamboo seemed to lean closer, forming a natural cathedral of green and shadow. Each step he took echoed softly against the stones, a measured rhythm that blended seamlessly with the whispering leaves and the distant trickle of a hidden stream. Lanterns glowed faintly through the mist, their light refracted into gentle halos that hovered like tiny spirits above the path. He paused for a moment, listening. The night was alive with subtle sounds, the flutter of wings, the distant croak of a frog, the rustle of leaves as a gentle wind danced through the grove. Each noise was delicate, almost musical, forming a symphony designed to soothe and calm. The samurai breathed deeply, allowing the scent of wet moss, fragrant blossoms, and distant incense to fill his senses. In this moment, the world beyond the grove, its worries, its burdens, seemed impossibly far away. Turning a bend, he discovered a hidden clearing, where dozens of small lanterns floated suspended in the air, their golden light casting intricate patterns across the mist. The grove felt enchanted, each lantern a quiet guardian illuminating the path. The samurai stepped lightly into the clearing, each movement careful and deliberate, as though the air itself held a sacred stillness. Petals from cherry blossoms drifted slowly down, landing softly on the moss, the stones, and even the samurai's shoulders, dissolving like gentle whispers of forgotten dreams. Among the lanterns, he noticed the faint outline of stone statues, each carved centuries ago yet preserved with care. They depicted serene figures, monks, warriors, and legendary creatures, their expressions calm and inviting. The samurai paused before one, tracing the contours of its face with his eyes, imagining the hands that had shaped it, the prayers that had been offered beside it, and the countless footsteps that had passed this way over the ages. Every detail seemed alive with the quiet pulse of history, a rhythm that connected past to present and earth to sky. A soft, rippling sound drew his attention to a small pond at the center of the clearing. Its surface reflected the floating lanterns, scattering their light into a kaleidoscope of gold and silver. The samurai knelt beside the water, letting his fingers brush the surface. Tiny ripples formed, echoing outward and catching the lantern light in shimmering patterns. A koi fish surfaced lazily, its scales glinting like molten gold, then disappeared beneath the water again. Every movement, every ripple was hypnotic, a reminder of the quiet continuity of life. As he rose, the samurai felt the warmth of the night seep into him, carrying with it a profound sense of calm and reflection. The floating lanterns swayed gently, the bamboo whispered their ancient songs, and the mist danced across the path like a living veil. Each step forward became a meditation, each breath a thread weaving him more deeply into the magic of this midnight walk. You walk beside him, silent and serene, letting the subtle light, the drifting petals, and the soft murmurs of the grove guide your mind into a state of gentle tranquility. The world around you fades softly, leaving only the rhythm of your steps and the peaceful presence of the samurai. And so the midnight walk continues, deeper into the heart of this enchanted garden, where every shadow, every whisper, and every flickering lantern carries you further into the calm embrace of night, toward dreams both quiet and endless. The samurai continued along the winding path, the gentle crunch of his sandals blending with the soft rustle of the bamboo above. The mist swirled around his legs, curling like silver ribbons in the faint moonlight. Shadows stretched and shifted with every flicker of lantern light, forming fleeting patterns that seemed to beckon him forward, guiding him deeper into the secret heart of the grove. Ahead, the path curved beneath an archway formed entirely of bamboo, their tops bending together to create a natural cathedral, silhouetted against the silvery glow of the full moon. Each stalk seemed to shimmer slightly in the night, as if holding tiny sparks of light within. The air was filled with the gentle scent of wet earth and cherry blossoms, a delicate perfume that enveloped him like a soft, invisible cloak. Stepping beneath the archway, the samurai felt an almost imperceptible shift in the air. The sound of the grove softened, replaced by a deeper, more resonant hush, as though the bamboo itself had leaned in to listen. Petals drifted lazily through the narrow corridor, catching the lantern light and casting tiny flecks of gold and silver across the stones. Each petal seemed to carry a story, whispers of laughter, meditation, and quiet reflection from countless nights past. A small stream appeared beside the path, winding gently beneath the bamboo arch. Its water was crystal clear, reflecting both the lantern glow and the silver moon above. The samurai knelt beside it, letting his fingers trace the smooth surface, watching the ripples expand outward and scatter the reflections into fragments of light. Every movement of the water seemed to echo the rhythm of his own heartbeat, connecting him intimately with the natural harmony of the grove. The bamboo above swayed softly in the night breeze, creating a gentle chorus of whispers that rose and fell like waves. From within the shadows, a deer appeared, stepping lightly across the path, its coat gleaming faintly in the lantern glow. It paused, regarding the samurai with calm, intelligent eyes, and then disappeared silently into the misty forest, leaving only the faintest echo of movement behind. Each subtle encounter, each soft sound, seemed designed to lull the mind into a meditative state, a place where thoughts drift gently like leaves on a stream. He continued along the moonlit archway, his steps deliberate, measured, yet flowing as naturally as the stream beside him. Every stone, every shadow, every flicker of light became part of the symphony of the night, a melody of quiet contemplation and gentle wonder. The lantern swayed with each passing breeze, casting dancing patterns across the moss-covered stones, and the cherry blossoms fell in slow spirals, each petal a tiny emblem of serenity. As you follow silently beside him, your body relaxes, and your mind slows. The moonlight and mist, the whispering bamboo and drifting petals, work together to create a cocoon of calm, each step drawing you deeper into a state of peaceful surrender. The path stretches on endlessly, inviting you to release tension, release worry, and simply be present in the embrace of this magical midnight walk. The journey continues, carrying you gently forward, deeper into the tranquil, dreamlike heart of the samurai's serene world. The samurai's footsteps echoed softly along the winding path, each one melding seamlessly with the gentle chorus of the bamboo and the distant flow of water. The mist hung thick around him, curling and drifting in ethereal shapes, and the moonlight filtered through in soft silver beams, painting the stones and leaves with quiet luminescence. The night was alive yet calm, a delicate balance that seemed to breathe in harmony with the steady rhythm of his walk. Ahead, a small stone bridge appeared, arching gracefully over a narrow stream that murmured quietly beneath. Moss clung to the stones in delicate patches, softened by the passage of countless years. The samurai paused at the edge of the bridge, resting a hand lightly on the cool stone railing. He inhaled deeply, the mingled scents of wet earth, bamboo, and cherry blossoms filling his senses, grounding him in this timeless moment. The water below reflected the moon and the flickering lanterns above, scattering their light into tiny, shimmering fragments. A koi surfaced, its golden scales glinting briefly before diving back beneath the tranquil surface. The samurai knelt beside the stream, letting his fingers brush the cool water, feeling the gentle pulse of the current, its quiet insistence a reminder of life's steady, enduring flow. Each ripple that spread across the surface seemed to echo the passage of time itself, as though carrying whispered stories from generations past. As he rose and stepped onto the bridge, the air shifted subtly. The bamboo swayed more gently now, and the petals from the cherry blossoms drifted down in slow spirals, landing softly upon the stones and the moss beneath his feet. A night bird flew silently overhead, its wings brushing the air with a faint rustle. Every sound, every shadow, every flicker of light seemed amplified in the serene hush of the night, wrapping the samurai, and you walking beside him, in a cocoon of calm and gentle awareness. Midway across the bridge, he paused to look out over the stream. The reflection of the moon shimmered on the water, fragmented and whole at once. He thought of the countless travelers who had crossed this same bridge before him, their footsteps silent yet present in the memory of the stones. The garden held their essence, the discipline of the warriors, the quiet devotion of monks, and the playful curiosity of children long ago. In this reflection, past and present seemed to blend into one continuous moment, timeless and serene. Continuing across, the samurai noticed subtle shapes shifting in the mist beyond the bridge. Stone lanterns, ancient trees, and faint outlines of small statues, all appearing as if they were waiting patiently for him to pass. Each one carried a story, a whisper of the past that mingled with the quiet sounds of the present. He walked deliberately, savoring every sensation, the cool night air brushing his skin, the gentle murmur of the stream, the delicate touch of petals on his shoulders. You follow silently, your breath slowing, your body releasing tension with each careful step. The moonlight and lanterns guide you forward, the mist and petals carrying away your restless thoughts. The bridge seems to stretch endlessly, a quiet passage into deeper stillness. And as the samurai reaches the other side, the garden continues to unfold before you, a labyrinth of shadow, light, and whispered stories, inviting every wandering mind to settle, relax, and drift gently into the calm embrace of this midnight journey. The samurai stepped off the stone bridge, entering a narrow corridor of bamboo that seemed to stretch endlessly ahead. The lanterns swayed gently in the night breeze, their golden glow casting elongated shadows across the moss-covered path. Mist drifted lazily between the stalks, curling around his legs and dissipating into the air above, carrying the soft fragrance of wet earth and cherry blossoms. Each step he took resonated with calm precision, his sandals whispering against the smooth stones. The corridor was alive with subtle movement. Shadows danced on the bamboo stalks as the lanterns flickered, and petals drifted from above, tumbling through the air in slow, hypnotic arcs. Occasionally, a fox would dart silently through the underbrush, its eyes glinting briefly before vanishing into the darkness. The samurai's hand rested lightly on the hilt of his sword, not in caution, but as a gentle anchor, connecting him to the grounding rhythm of discipline and presence as he moved deeper into the night. He paused for a moment to observe the lanterns, each one unique, carved from wood and paper with delicate precision. Their glow formed a soft, rhythmic pattern, as if the grove itself was breathing, guiding him onward. The samurai inhaled slowly, letting the gentle warmth of the lanterns fill him with serenity, and allowed his senses to absorb the myriad details around him. The soft rustle of leaves, the faint trickle of water from a hidden stream, the subtle glow of moonlight filtering through the bamboo canopy. As he continued, the path gradually widened into a small clearing, where the lanterns hung in clusters, creating a gentle constellation of light. The air was thick with the mingling scents of blooming cherry trees, moss, and faint incense from a distant shrine. Here the garden seemed to pause, holding its breath in quiet anticipation. A lone crane stepped delicately into the clearing, its reflection shimmering on a small pond at the center. The samurai knelt beside the water, watching the creature's movements, feeling the silent connection between all living beings in the grove. The mist wrapped around him, softening the edges of the world, blurring the boundaries between path, tree, and sky. Every detail, stone, leaf, petal, ripple of water, merged into a tapestry of light and shadow, designed to ease the mind and cradle the spirit. He rose slowly, each movement deliberate, mindful, absorbing the tranquility that flowed through the clearing like a gentle stream. You walk silently beside him, feeling the soothing rhythm of each step, the gentle sway of lanterns, the soft whispers of bamboo, and the delicate descent of petals. The corridor stretches forward, carrying you deeper into the night, where each breath becomes lighter, each thought quieter, and each heartbeat merges with the serene cadence of the garden. The samurai's journey continues, guiding you through this luminous corridor into the deeper, quieter mysteries of the Midnight Grove, where the night itself becomes a lullaby, and the world softens into dreamlike stillness. The samurai stepped from the lantern-lit clearing back onto the winding stone path, each step sounding softly against the moss-covered stones. The mist lingered, curling around his legs and drifting upward, blurring the line between earth and sky. The bamboo overhead swayed gently, whispering in response to the night breeze, carrying faint melodic echoes that seemed to speak directly to the heart. Each sound was subtle, yet deliberate, a lullaby composed by the night itself. Petals from the cherry trees fell in soft, languid arcs, landing on the stones like tiny fragments of light. The samurai's fingers brushed them as he walked, feeling their delicate texture, the faint trace of scent clinging to his skin. Around him, shadows shifted gently, taking forms that were both familiar and fantastical. The silhouette of a crane gliding silently across the moonlit stream, a fox slipping between bamboo stalks, and distant shapes of stone statues that seemed to observe him with serene patience. Every detail of the path, every flicker of light and shadow, carried a story of the grove's long and silent history. A small wooden gate appeared ahead, partially concealed by hanging bamboo and thick mist. Its frame was ancient, worn smooth by countless hands, yet it exuded quiet strength and presence. The samurai paused, placing a hand on the weathered wood. He closed his eyes for a moment, listening. The soft rustling of leaves, the distant murmur of water, the faint hum of the lanterns, all combined into a harmony that seemed to guide his steps without conscious thought. Stepping through the gate, he entered a narrow section of the path bordered by tall stones. These stones were etched with faint symbols, inscriptions that glimmered faintly in the lantern light. Their meaning was subtle, almost imperceptible to the untrained eye, yet their presence radiated calm, discipline, and wisdom. The samurai walked slowly among them, letting the weight of centuries sink into his mind. Each stone seemed to hold the memory of those who had walked this path before him, their footsteps now whispering through the cool night air. The mist thickened slightly, softening the edges of the world. A small pond emerged on the left, its surface mirror-like, reflecting the moon, the stones, and the distant glow of lanterns. The samurai knelt beside it, dipping his fingers into the water. Tiny ripples formed, expanding slowly, carrying the reflected light into soft, dancing waves. Each ripple was hypnotic, a visual chant, a meditation for the eyes and mind, drawing him, and you walking silently beside him, deeper into the serene rhythm of the grove. Continuing along the path, the samurai noticed faint movement among the bamboo. Leaves brushing gently against one another, petals tumbling lazily through the air, and shadows of small creatures moving with careful purpose. Each subtle motion was a reminder of life quietly persisting, patiently flowing in harmony with the night. The stones beneath his sandals were cool and comforting, grounding him as he continued, step by step, deeper into the soft embrace of the grove. You walk beside him, your breathing slowing, your body releasing tension with each deliberate step. The whispers of the stones, the gentle sway of bamboo, the drifting petals, and the distant sound of flowing water all blend into a soothing melody, carrying you further into the calm of the midnight walk. The path stretches onward, inviting a gentle surrender to serenity, each moment dissolving the restless mind into quiet, dreamlike stillness. The samurai's steps led him into a widening of the path, where the bamboo grove opened into a small garden shrouded in gentle mist. Lanterns hung from delicate branches, their golden light diffused through the fog, creating a dreamy, almost otherworldly glow. The air was thick with the mingled scents of wet earth, cherry blossoms, and a faint trace of incense carried from a distant shrine. Each breath drew serenity deeper into the samurai's lungs, filling him with a profound sense of calm. Petals floated lazily through the air, settling softly on the moss-covered stones and the edge of a small pond at the center of the garden. The water mirrored the lanterns, the moon, and the delicate blossoms that seemed to drift endlessly, forming patterns that shifted and shimmered with each ripple. A koi broke the surface gently, sending concentric circles across the mirrored sky, and then disappeared beneath the water once more. Every movement, every ripple seemed designed to soothe, to lull the mind into quiet reflection. He walked slowly through the garden, each step deliberate, measured, and mindful. The mist curled around his legs like soft silk, and the faint sound of a distant stream mingled with the subtle rustle of bamboo leaves. Shapes emerged and disappeared in the fog. A fox paused briefly behind a tree, its eyes catching the lantern light. A stone statue of a monk exuded serenity, and shadows of branches swayed gently across the moss. Each element of the garden seemed alive, breathing quietly, inviting the samurai, and you walking beside him, into a world where time itself slowed. He knelt by the pond, letting his fingertips graze the cool, reflective surface. The ripples radiated outward, carrying with them the reflected light of the lanterns and the moon. Every flicker of movement was hypnotic, drawing his attention inward, allowing thought and worry to drift away like leaves on water. In that stillness, the samurai felt connected to everything around him. The stones beneath his knees, the bamboo swaying above, the gentle whisper of water, and the eternal rhythm of the night itself. Rising, he continued along a narrow path lined with lanterns, their light forming a gentle corridor through the mist. Each lantern seemed to have a personality, flickering softly as if breathing, their warmth comforting and steady. Petals fell upon his shoulders, dissolving softly into the folds of his robes. The air carried whispers of the past, echoes of monks chanting, warriors walking in disciplined silence, children laughing long ago. These whispers were subtle, almost imperceptible, yet they imbued the night with a sense of timeless calm. As the samurai walked further, the mist thickened, wrapping around him and merging with the light in a delicate dance. Every step became a meditation, each breath a thread weaving him more deeply into the magic of this midnight journey. You follow beside him, silent and serene, feeling the weight of the world lift with each heartbeat, each flicker of light, each rustle of bamboo. The garden continues to unfold, a living, breathing lullaby, inviting the mind and body to drift gently into peace. The path stretches onward, winding through the mist and lantern glow, guiding every step with quiet intention. The night embraces the traveler completely, each movement, each sigh of the wind, and each shimmer of moonlight a reminder that stillness is a gift and serenity a companion. The samurai's midnight walk carries on, deeper into the heart of the enchanted grove, and you, walking beside him, feel the gentle pull of sleep and the soothing embrace of a world suspended between reality and dream. The samurai walked onward, the soft crunch of his sandals against the moss-covered stones blending with the gentle sigh of the night breeze. The mist hung low, curling around his legs and diffusing the silver moonlight into a soft, dreamlike glow. The bamboo above formed a natural canopy, arching gracefully and creating shadows that shifted like liquid across the path. Each movement of the leaves seemed deliberate, as if the grove itself were guiding him deeper into the serenity of the night. Ahead, the path opened into a small clearing bathed in the muted twilight glow of lanterns and moonlight. The mist here was thicker, enveloping the samurai in a delicate veil, softening the edges of the world. Petals from cherry trees drifted through the air, their descent slow and hypnotic, landing softly on the moss, the stones, and the samurai's shoulders. A solitary fox emerged, pausing to watch him with luminous eyes before slipping silently back into the shadows. Every detail of the clearing seemed alive, charged with quiet purpose and tranquil energy. At the center of the clearing, a stone water basin reflected the lanterns and moon above. The samurai knelt beside it, tracing the surface with his fingers and watching as ripples carried fragments of light across the water. Each ripple seemed like a soft heartbeat of the garden, connecting him to centuries of quiet, meditative presence. Around him, faint whispers of the past, silent footsteps, whispered prayers, and gentle laughter seemed to rise from the earth itself, dissolving softly into the night air. He continued to explore the clearing slowly, mindful of every step. Shadows of stone statues emerged and disappeared through the mist, figures of monks, guardians, and legendary creatures frozen in time yet somehow alive in their quiet watchfulness. The bamboo swayed gently, the leaves brushing against one another with a soft murmur, and petals continued to fall like snowflakes, their descent rhythmically lulling the senses. The samurai inhaled the mingled scents of wet moss, blossoms, and distant incense, feeling the night's serenity settle deep into his being. A small stream meandered along the edge of the clearing, its water whispering as it wound through the mist. The samurai knelt beside it, letting his hands glide across the surface, sending tiny ripples into the mirrored reflection of the moon and lanterns. A lone crane stepped softly into the water, its reflection joining the dance of light and shadow. Each moment seemed to stretch, suspended in time, every detail harmonizing with the slow, meditative rhythm of his midnight journey. You walk silently alongside him, every sense attuned to the gentle choreography of night, the sway of bamboo, the shimmer of lanterns, the soft murmur of water, and the descent of petals. The world outside this clearing fades gradually, leaving only the serene embrace of the garden, the steady cadence of your own breathing, and the soothing presence of the samurai. Each step draws you further into calm, each breath deeper into tranquility, and every heartbeat becomes a quiet echo of the night's lullaby, carrying you onward into the heart of the grove's dreamlike serenity. The samurai continued along the winding stone path, the soft crunch of his sandals a gentle accompaniment to the night's symphony. The mist clung delicately to the bamboo stalks, curling and drifting in the moonlight, transforming the familiar grove into a world that felt suspended between reality and dream. Petals fell like drifting snow, each one catching the lantern light for a fleeting moment before dissolving softly onto the moss beneath his feet. Ahead, the path opened into a secluded pavilion, nestled among towering bamboo and flowering trees. Its wooden beams glowed faintly under the moon, polished smooth over centuries, and the sliding paper doors reflected a warm, golden hue from lanterns hung inside. The pavilion seemed almost to float above the ground, resting on stone pillars that rose like silent guardians from the earth. The samurai approached slowly, each step measured, absorbing the serene beauty and the quiet dignity of the place. He paused at the entrance, placing a hand lightly on the smooth wooden rail, and inhaled the mingled scents of wet wood, blossoms, and distant incense. The air was thick with tranquility, almost tangible, wrapping around him like a soft cloak. From within the pavilion, the faint sound of flowing water and the subtle hum of wind through bamboo created a melody that seemed to resonate with his heartbeat. Each note was a gentle lull, guiding him further into calm and reflection. Inside, the pavilion's floor was polished and cool beneath his feet, each step echoing softly. Paper lanterns hung from the rafters, casting gentle, flickering patterns that danced across the walls and floor. Outside, the mist swirled in soft veils around the pillars, diffusing the moonlight into silver streams that merged with the golden lantern glow. The samurai knelt in quiet contemplation, his hands resting on his knees, feeling the rhythm of his breathing synchronize with the silent pulse of the grove. From the open sides of the pavilion, he could see the grove stretching into the distance. Paths lined with lanterns, streams reflecting moonlight, and distant statues cloaked in mist. Each element seemed to tell a story, a quiet meditation of centuries past. The samurai traced the lines of the pavilion's architecture with his eyes, noting the intricate carvings of blossoms, cranes, and dragons that adorned its beams. Every curve, every shadow, every flicker of light carried him deeper into the night's embrace. You walk silently beside him, every step slowing, every breath becoming lighter, as the pavilion's serene presence wraps around you. The soft flicker of lanterns, the gentle sway of bamboo, the drifting petals, and the murmuring streams work together to quiet the mind and soothe the spirit. Each detail guides you further into relaxation, each heartbeat syncing with the calm rhythm of the midnight grove. The hidden moonlit pavilion stands as a beacon of stillness, a place where time dissolves, and where you, walking beside the samurai, feel the gentle pull of sleep and the quiet magic of a night untouched by worry or haste. The samurai's footsteps led him from the hidden pavilion down a winding path that dipped gently toward a secluded pool. The bamboo overhead formed a natural corridor, filtering the moonlight into soft silver ribbons that danced across the moss-covered stones. Petals drifted lazily through the air, landing upon the path and the edges of the pool like delicate whispers of forgotten dreams. The mist clung to the ground, curling and twisting around his feet, carrying with it the faint, calming scent of blossoms and wet earth. As he approached the water's edge, the samurai paused, captivated by the pool's tranquil beauty. Its surface was perfectly still, reflecting the lanterns, moon, and bamboo canopy above in a mirror of liquid glass. Small ripples formed when a breeze brushed across the water, sending tiny waves of light flickering across the surrounding stones. A koi glided gracefully beneath the surface, its golden scales catching the lantern glow before vanishing into the depths. Every movement of water, every ripple, seemed orchestrated to soothe and calm, a lullaby in visual form. The samurai knelt beside the pool, letting his fingers trace gentle circles on the surface. Each ripple expanded outward, distorting the reflections of lanterns and moonlight, transforming them into shimmering constellations. In the quiet, he could hear the soft rustle of bamboo leaves, the distant whisper of flowing water, and the occasional flutter of a night bird. These sounds blended seamlessly with his breathing, creating a gentle rhythm that synchronized body, mind, and spirit. Surrounding the pool were stone statues, weathered and moss-covered, yet emanating a quiet dignity. Figures of monks, guardians, and mythical creatures watched silently, their expressions calm, timeless, and serene. The samurai walked slowly among them, noticing the intricate details carved into stone, the subtle curve of a crane's wing, the fold of a monk's robe, the delicate edge of a dragon's scale. Each detail seemed to hum with the energy of centuries, a gentle reminder of continuity, patience, and quiet presence. The mist thickened slightly, softening the edges of the world and creating a sense of infinite space. Lanterns hanging from bamboo reflected in the water, their golden glow mixing with silver moonlight to form a delicate tapestry of light and shadow. Petals continued to drift down, settling gently on the pool's surface and creating small, hypnotic patterns that shimmered and dissolved. Every sight, every sound, and every gentle movement guided the samurai, and you walking silently beside him, into deeper calm, drawing the mind into a state of soft, serene meditation. Rising slowly, the samurai continued along the edge of the pool, following a narrow stone path that curved through the mist. Each step was deliberate, measured, and mindful, a quiet meditation in motion. You walk beside him, feeling your body relax, your thoughts soften, and your mind drift gently with each movement. The reflection pool, the mist, the lanterns, and the softly falling petals create a symphony of serenity, each note carrying you further into the peaceful embrace of night. The journey continues, guiding every step into dreamlike calm, deeper into the heart of the midnight grove, where stillness reigns and the world feels suspended in a delicate, timeless hush. The samurai moved forward along the narrowing path, the soft crunch of his sandals against the moss-covered stones blending seamlessly with the gentle whisper of the night breeze. The bamboo overhead arched gracefully, creating a natural tunnel illuminated by the soft glow of lanterns. Mist swirled delicately around his legs, rising like silver smoke and curling in mesmerizing patterns that caught the flickering lantern light. Petals from the cherry trees fell slowly, drifting in hypnotic spirals, carpeting the stones with soft pink and white fragments. As he proceeded, the path began to climb slightly, leading him to a final clearing where the moonlight poured down unbroken, bathing the grove in a serene, silvery glow. The lanterns here flickered in perfect harmony with the breeze, their light merging with the moon to create a delicate dance of gold and silver across the moss and stones. The air was rich with the mingling fragrances of wet earth, blossoms, and the faint trace of incense lingering from distant shrines, wrapping the entire scene in a gentle, calming embrace. At the center of the clearing, a narrow stone bridge arched over a slow-moving stream, its waters reflecting the soft light in patterns that shimmered and dissolved with every ripple. The samurai paused at the bridge, placing a hand lightly on the railing, and inhaled deeply. Each breath seemed to draw serenity further into his being, each exhale releasing the tension of the world beyond the grove. Around him, shadows shifted subtly in the moonlight, forming shapes of trees, statues, and the occasional fleeting creature, all part of the nocturnal harmony that seemed designed to lull the mind into gentle quietude. He stepped onto the bridge, letting each footfall resonate softly with the rhythm of the night. Petals drifted down around him, settling on the stones and floating briefly on the stream below. Lanterns swayed in the gentle wind, casting elongated shadows that danced across the moss-covered banks. The samurai's movements were deliberate and calm, each step an echo of centuries of disciplined practice, meditation, and quiet contemplation. The bridge, the stream, the bamboo, and the softly falling petals formed a seamless, dreamlike environment, inviting him, and you walking silently beside him, into complete surrender to stillness. As he reached the far side, The grove stretched into a final corridor of bamboo, lit by lanterns that guided the way forward. The mist softened the edges of the path, blurring reality into a gentle, ethereal haze. The samurai's shadow fell long and fluid across the stones, merging with the reflections of lanterns and moonlight. Every element, the swaying bamboo, the floating petals, the trickling water, the gentle lantern glow, worked in concert to quiet the mind, relax the body, and ease the spirit into peaceful serenity. You walk beside him, feeling the weight of the world lift with each step, your breath slowing, your thoughts dissolving like petals on the stream. The path seems endless yet comforting, each moment stretching into timeless stillness. With every heartbeat, you sink deeper into calm, the grove's nocturnal symphony cradling you, preparing the mind and body for sleep. The samurai's midnight walk has reached its quiet culmination, yet the serenity lingers, a soft, abiding presence. The grove, the moonlight, and the gentle whispers of night invite you to drift fully into the embrace of rest, carrying you gently into dreams, where the heart and spirit float weightlessly beneath the timeless, silvery sky.